Picture the haka's thunderous echo fading into stunned silence as whispers from the All Blacks' inner sanctum leak out, not about a player's fall from grace, but a coaching void so gaping it could swallow the entire black jersey dynasty, with one legendary voice dropping hints of a radical overseas raid that might just shatter Kiwi rugby's sacred insularity forever. Crush that subscribe button and fire up notifications. Stay locked in for the raw pulse of global sports. In the shadowed corridors of New Zealand Rugby's gleaming headquarters in Wellington, where the air hangs heavy with the scent of fresh-cut grass from nearby fields and the ghosts of 3 World Cups past, Tony Johnson has become the unofficial oracle, his decades behind the microphone turning casual chats into seismic revelations that ripple from the terraces of Eden Park to the pubs of Invercargill. Johnson, the silver-haired maestro whose voice has narrated more All Blacks triumphs than most fans have beers at a tailgate, isn't just any pundit. He's the guy who hears the unfiltered truths from players nursing post-match bruises and coaches plotting over lukewarm coffees in hotel lobbies. As the end-of-year tour wrapped in late November 2025 with a gritty 24-20 win over Wales in Cardiff, Den Barrett's clutch drop goal silencing the Millennium Stadium's roar, the real game shifted off-field, where Jason Holland's confirmed exit as strike coach left a chasm in Scott Robertson's high-performance machine. Holland, the unassuming tactician who'd molded set-piece sorcery into weapons that carved open defenses from Dublin to Dunedin, bowed out after 27 tests, citing a desire for fresh horizons, but insiders murmur of clashing visions, a subtle erosion of the razor-sharp alignment that defined the Crusaders' golden era under Raz. Enter Johnson, fresh from calling the Ireland thriller Where Will Jordan's Phantom Try ignited debates that still simmer on talkback radio, spilling on Sport Nation mornings with Ian Smith that the high-performance review led by Mike Anthony is a pressure cooker, weighing whether to promote from within or chase an elite attack specialist from abroad. The storytelling here unfolds like a slow-burn thriller. Robertson, the laid-back Cantabrian with a surfer's vibe masking a tactical brain wired for dominance, handpicked his initial crew in 2023, Leon MacDonald for attack, Jason Ryan for forwards, Scott Hansen for defense, building a pod that echoed his Super Rugby blueprint, all Kiwi grit and no-nonsense synergy. But Macca's abrupt departure after just 3 tests in 2024, amid whispers of philosophical fractures over how to unleash the backline's X-factor, set a precedent of instability that now haunts the setup like a recurring nightmare. Holland's slip in 2025, coinciding with injecting raw talents like Sitivini Parker and Hugh Holland into the fray, kids who went from benchwarmers to ball carriers in a blink, exposed the forwards' teething pains, a 2024 solidity crumbling under youth's exuberance, leading to losses against South Africa that felt like gut punches to a nation still smarting from the 2023 World Cup quarterfinal heartbreak. Johnson's intel paints a vivid canvas. Anthony's review isn't mere box ticking, it's a forensic audit, dissecting metrics from counterattack efficiency down 15% this year to line-out retention dipping below 85% in tight contests, questioning if the current trio, Ryan, Hansen, and now a makeshift attack lead, can shoulder the load or if an external jolt is needed. Fans, those black-clad legions who've stormed the stands from Twickenham to Tokyo, sense the undercurrent, forums ablaze with pleas for continuity amid merger murmurs that threaten the provincial heartbeat. Yet, the moment of surprise Johnson drops hits like a rogue wave. Amid the elevation talk, he's hearing murmurs of a bold pivot to an international hire, perhaps a name from the Springboks attack labs or even a Wallabies exile, a move that could ignite civil war among purists who view the All Blacks as rugby's untouchable fortress, impervious to foreign blueprints. This isn't just staffing, it's identity in flux, Robertson's easy grin in pressers masking the calculated gamble of blending tradition with reinvention, his post-Wales huddle with players revealing a steely resolve to evolve or perish. Johnson, drawing from sources as deep as the Waikato River, recounts off-mic moments, Holland's quiet laughs with Rico Ione over sideline drills, Ryan's impassioned whiteboard rants on mall mechanics, humanizing the machine, but underscoring the void's peril. Without a swift fill, the 2026 season risks unraveling, young guns like Cam Roigard left adrift in a leadership vacuum. The narrative arcs toward tension's peak as Anthony's report looms by mid-December, boardrooms buzzing with names like Crusaders attack whisperer Rob Penny or Hurricanes sharp-mind Clark Laidlaw, internal promotions that could stabilize but stifle flair. Johnson's voice, gravelly from years of roaring into headsets, carries the weight of prophecy. The All Blacks aren't just replacing a coach, they're redefining their soul, one whispered rumor at a time, with the nation's hopes pinned on whether this vacancy births a phoenix or fans the flames of doubt. Halfway through this gripping All Blacks intrigue, you're dialed into All Sports Updates, the unfiltered feed for every tackle, twist, and triumph across the sports globe. Keep the energy high and ride out the revelations. Deep in the misty highlands of Otago, where the Highlanders' training paddock meets the rugged southern Alps, the echoes of Super Rugby's 2025 chaos still linger like frost on a winter morning, feeding directly into the All Blacks coaching conundrum that Tony Johnson dissects with the precision of a surgeon's scalpel. Picture the scene. A post-season barbecue in Queenstown, smoke curling from the grill as coaches from across the provinces swap war stories, the kind that never make headlines but shape legacies. Jason Ryan, the forwards guru whose 3 stellar seasons crafted a pack that mauled the box in 2024, now under the microscope for 2025's youthful stumbles, his innovations tested against walls of experience. Johnson, nursing a Steinlager and eavesdropping on the periphery, catches fragments that piece together the puzzle. The review isn't scapegoating Ryan's integration of rookies, those Holland brothers charging like bulls, Lakai's explosive carries turning games, but probing the holistic balance, where attacks void post-Holland leaves Hansen's defense as the lone sentinel. The storytelling swells with personal stakes. Robertson, once the king of Christchurch's red zone mastery, now navigates Wellington's political minefield, his podcast confessions revealing sleepless nights poring over footage of Ireland's line-speed suffocation, vowing to inject creativity without diluting the grunt. Johnson's revelations build suspense. He's hearing that internal elevation, perhaps elevating Hansen to oversee strikes or poaching from the Blues' revamped setup, tops the shortlist, a safe bet preserving the pod's chemistry forged in Crusaders' fires, where mateship trumped egos. But the surprise surges like a turnover try, whispers of targeting a specialist from overseas, names like Tony Brown, the box attack alchemist whose sibling ties to Highlanders add intrigue, floating like smoke signals, a seismic shift that could import World Cup winning DNA but risk cultural clash in a team where haka bonds run deeper than blood. This isn't abstract, it's visceral, Johnson. Aaron Smith running Claremont's attack at 1,000,000 miles an hour while half our scrum halves still can't pass off both hands under pressure. Fitzpatrick listed every single exiled superstar and basically said bring them back or start writing Razor's resignation letter. The numbers back him up and they are brutal. In 2023 the All Blacks tight 5 averaged 117.8 kilos per man in the World Cup final. In 2025 that number is 113.2. 4.5 kilos lighter across the front 5 against the biggest packs on Earth. That's 36 kilos of missing human in total. No wonder Eben Etzebeth is smiling in photographs. Fitzpatrick pointed out that in his era they used to look across the scrum and see monsters like Olo Brown and Craig Dowd who weighed more than most modern props. Now we're starting Tyrell Lomax at 123 kilos and calling it heavy. Fitz called it a joke and said the All Blacks have become the Harlem Globetrotters when we need to be the Chicago Bulls again.